I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Woohoo! Happy Friday, everyone. Can you tell? I'm super excited. Well, if you're joining us live, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Inspiration from Inger. My name is Inger van Roy, and I'm recognized as a community connection catalyst. Now, some of you may wonder, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that I am driven by the principle of Ubuntu and I believe in the power of community. I'm here to show, not just tell you, that community is paramount. And how do I do that? By highlighting some of my amazing friends in my community and sharing some of their wisdom with you. I also help entrepreneurs and corporations focus on community so that they can scale and overcome obstacles in their path. So please, if you need help with this, please reach out to me. Before we move forward, I want to say thank you so much to our amazing sponsors at Africa Online Radio. This is the radio station where my Wednesday show is also live. So if you haven't been out there to check out this website, please do so by going to this website, which is africa.co.za. And on Wednesdays, if you'd like to listen instead of watch my show, you can catch it on Africa Online Radio and you can click listen live. You will also be privy to things that happen outside of the live streamed show, which is music that I play and also insights that I share on the topic outside of my conversation with my guest. So please definitely go over to africa.co.za and check it out. Um, if you're watching live, I want to say thank you for being here with us. And please go ahead, drop us a comment, let us know where you're tuning in from. Michael and I would definitely like to weave your comments into our conversation and hear from you. So without further ado, how about I say hello to Michael and bring him up on stage?
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Inger?
Morning, I'm well, thank you, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm awesome. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited just to learn more and to grow with you and just to share some thoughts with the audience out there watching today.
Awesome. I'm so excited to have you here with us. Before we jump in, won't you please share with everyone who you are and what you do, Michael?
You bet. Hi everybody. I'm Michael Holt. I'm the co-owner of LinkIT Media Group. Me and my daughter started this business about 4 years ago. But just going back, I'm a father of four. I had a 30 plus year career in the little casino industries here in Washington State. I was blessed with COVID to come in, and the owner ended up selling. I didn't know at the time I was going to be so blessed to be able to start my family business. And again, I'm so blessed to have my children working with me, and I'm a big fan of Jesus. So I go out and chase him all the time, and he keeps picking me up and heading me in the right direction. So that's a little bit about me and what gets me excited each day.
Amen. Thank you. Welcome. I'm excited for the conversation as well. Before we jump in, let's say hello to our friends in the comments. Oh my goodness. We have Whitney. She says, "Good morning from Katy, Texas." Hi, Whitney. Nice to see you here. And then we also have Katie McDermott. She says, "Good morning and happy Friday, manufacturing friends."
There you go. Good morning, Katie. Mm,
Katie is the manufacturing hype girl. So that's
yep.
why she says that. We have Catherine Lang. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
we love Catherine.
Yes,
You
we
know,
do.
she just sent me a text wishing a blessing over the airway, and that's the magic of friends. Is that randomly out of the blue you'll get a message about life and an encouragement from this circle and this community. So one of
Mm,
my all-time favorites right there.
or amen. Catherine says, "Yay, I made it. Amazing people and such a powerful way to ignite my morning even more." Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. So awesome to have you here. And we have Elizabeth Balvin tuned in from Southern California in the US.
I love it.
You, Elizabeth, good to have you here. Oh,
Good morning, Elizabeth.
and Katie says, Katie's, I love to see the networking that happens in the comments. So nice to see this. And we have Hank Prum. He says, "Good morning from Woodstock, Ontario." Not too far from me, Hank.
Good
Uh,
morning,
nice to
Hank.
see you here. Thank you for joining us. Uh, oh, love it. The networking that's happening in the comments is amazing as always. So, Michael, let's jump in. I want to ask you, since this is inspiration from Inga, won't you please share with us what inspires you?
Wow, that's a great question. What inspires me? Besides our Creator Jesus, that says that we have a promise, that we have a purpose, which
Hmm.
each day I get up and really try to focus on what that purpose is. And to be honest with you, sometimes it's hard to answer that question. Although at the end of the day, it comes back to encouraging and inspiring people to be their best. So my role model, my hero that inspired me the most was my mom. My mom was my superhero. I was blessed to work with her in that casino industry for about 20 years. So I got to spend a lot of time learning the lessons that mom taught, not only at home but also watching her out in the community, love and share. So I have to say she's probably my number one inspiration. And then I took that information and that kind of love and relationship with my mom, and I just flipped it over to my children. So today in the real world, my children inspire me to become the best version of myself. And they're just a big part of why I do what I do, and just wanting to be the best version of myself so I can teach them the life lessons that my dad didn't give me growing up. So my dad was not around. So lots of love and lots of inspiration coming from that family tree.
That's beautiful. Family is our first community that we are born into. And it's really them that see the good, the bad, and the ugly of us, right? Um,
Well, especially
but
when you work with them, when you
yes,
work with them, they see all of it.
I can imagine. Oh my goodness. But from what I can tell, Mike, you are so inspiring yourself.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, you've shared with me, different things that you do within your company. And I just, wow, I love it. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you start your day with LinkIT Media?
Yeah, no, today is Friday Fun Day, so the team will be coming in here probably. I had to put a little note up on my door saying I'm in a live podcast because today, being Friday Fun Day, the team is going to come in. And to kind of back up a little bit about that team is that,
Mhm.
like I mentioned, I had a 33-year career in little mini casinos, and at the peak of our game, I overseed about 425 employees. And so, one of the things that we learned was how important our people were. And, as that business grew, there was this disconnect from the top to the bottom. So, Inga, we've talked a little bit about my book, The Five F Words That Every Parent Should Teach Their Kids. And that's a whole nother topic. But what we wanted to create here, me and my daughter, was a business and a place that people wanted to come. And what we wanted to do was to take those five F words, which is your faith, your finance, your fitness, your family and friends, and having some fun. And we wanted to create an environment that did just that. So here at LinkIT Media, what we do is each morning we start with a hour of personal development. And yes, a lot of it is around our industry because the team is selling and sharing the opportunity to do business with businesses out there all across the country. But more importantly, we also come back to those life skills, the things that can make them better when we start talking about finances. So we will get into help coaching about budgeting and talking about like Dave Ramsey, the 7 baby steps, and they'll get a lot of Jim Rome or Brian Tracy or John Maxwell, lots of inspiration just to get their day right. And then what they will always do is they'll play some type of a game where Friday Fun Days, again, I will be out there probably in about an hour hosting the Family Feud game. So the team will come and I get to be a little Steve Harvey. And it's more just bringing the team together and letting them know it's okay to have fun and we can get the work done.
That's awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome. Wow. I love it. So I know you speak about your mom as being your inspiration.
Mhm.
Um, can you go back maybe to when you were a kid and let us know who was a role model for you and why? Share a little bit of a story with us, please.
Yeah, wow. Going back to when I was a kid, we're going throwing it way back there. So, you know, again, mom was the hero because mom always made time. Mom made time. When I looked out into the stadium when I was playing Little League or when I was at a roller skating, because back in the day we used to roller skate and travel around the area and do skating race meets. My mom always seemed to be there and make time for me. And in fact, in the office, they'll joke all the time when we're playing a game that mom used to always go, "Hey, put it in there, Mike Gay," because she'd be out there when I'd be pitching on the mound, and she'd be encouraging me. So it's interesting as I was going through life. Whenever I would stumble or wherever I wasn't heading in the right direction, mom was always there to encourage me. And if I made any mistakes along the way, it was never kind of a beat up for making the mistake. It was more like, let's get up and go get it again. And you don't realize
Wow.
how important that is until you get further in life and
Mm-hmm.
those values are instilled in you
Mm-hmm.
as we go at the world today because everybody knows it's not easy. And
No.
even though we're inspirational, we're excited, and we get up every day and we put our best foot forward. It's still a struggle. The struggles are real;
Mm-hmm.
they're there for all of us. But that inspiration that mom taught me that hey, no matter what, when you fall down, just get up and keep going, has stuck with me, and it's such a pillar that that's why I call her out as my number one inspiration. Plus, she loved the world. Being in the casino industry and leading 400 and some employees and all the hundreds of guests that would come through those card rooms and play cards around the table, you learn to love every walk of life. So she did not, there was unconditional love until you did something that made her step back and question that. And then she would call you out and let you know that that's not okay. And so
Mm.
that unconditional love and no judging and that wisdom is so good and it sticks with me today.
It's beautiful. Um, I'm so happy that you had that role model in your life because, oftentimes we as people, we tend to beat up on ourselves, right? When we fail, when we make a mistake. And it's difficult to get back up when we do that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, Mike, what is your life statement, um, or your motto that you live by? Do you have one?
You know, when you say that, what comes to mind, and we've heard it, the good book says it as well as, Zig Ziglar. I read a book, See at the Top, I believe, is, the statement comes from if you serve enough others, you will get what you need in the end. So that ability every day to get up and ask yourself, how can we serve? How can we serve our team? How can we serve our family? How can we serve our customers? And if we just keep focused on serving, it seems like everything else falls into place. And it doesn't mean, like I said, you won't have some challenging times. But if you wake up with that service mentality, it just seems like something good always comes.
That's beautiful. I
Yeah.
love it. Yes, serving others, that's so important. Let's go to the comments. I see a few happening here. Let's see. Catherine says, I'm going to get my third cup of coffee. It's about to get seriously intentional around here. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I love it.
She also says, if you aren't enjoying the journey, it's time to change rides. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I've heard her say this so many times. And honestly, it's so true. And what we don't realize a lot of the time is that we get to choose.
Yeah. Well, you get to choose every time, right?
Yeah,
You do get to choose every time. Maybe not what's happening, but you get to choose, as our buddy
you,
Russ Hedge says, you get to choose what you do with it. And
yes,
yeah,
how you respond.
Catherine's so good. I just love, when you know Catherine, it's just, she is bigger than life. God gave her a big heart, and she is full of energy, and she is out shining bright. So,
Yes,
Catherine, I'm so blessed that you're here today. Good stuff.
yes, amen. Here we go. Catherine says also, we need people around us that will encourage us to lean into our strengths, but also that will remind us not to get stuck in our weaknesses or non passions.
So true. Yeah,
Yes.
she's got a lot of good stuff. If you're not plugged in with Catherine, you need to be. She will lift you up, and she will hold you accountable. She's good.
Yes,
She's a
sure will.
good friend.
She sure is. Katie says, the greatest of all is the servant of all. Amen.
Good job, Katie.
Yeah. So, Mike, we do talk about Ubuntu on this show. And for those that are watching that don't know what it means, here is the definition. So Ubuntu is an ancient African word which means humanity to others. It is often described as reminding us that I am because we are. And you know, Ubuntu actually has roots in South Africa like me. So I was born in South Africa, and this word comes from a South African language. And the reason I believe it so wholeheartedly is really like I wouldn't be the me with that I am today without the people in my circle. You, Catherine, Russ Hedge, Alan, Alan Hennessy. We even have Scott, right? Katie, Whitney, the people that are in my circle, those are the ones that have really um, exposed me to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new opportunities to learn and grow. I have a quote. Let me see if I can find it. There's a quote that I love. It's with regards to networking. And it's by a lady named Michelle Janae. Yeah. Michelle Janae says, networking is not about just connecting people. It's about connecting people, people with ideas, and people with opportunities. Right.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what does networking mean to you, or building community? What does that mean, and what is it meant for you over the years?
Yeah, networking. I'm so attracted to networking because it exposes you to all walks of life. So for me, I am big into community. I love going into a environment where there are new people that I don't know. Some people are intimidated by that. I'm not. I'm so excited to listen and learn as people share their wisdom and they share their goals and their dreams. In fact, I think that's where it all starts in life. Is it's not about what we can get; it's how we can help others. So that network allows you to go into an environment and interact with people and then be able to ask them what makes them excited, what gets them up every morning. And when you sit back and listen, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch how people will share. In fact, I was just at a chamber, a local chamber, and the president of the chamber came to me afterwards, and we've connected. And I asked her how the day was going, and she just opened up. And because I was there and had ears to listen, she shared some very personal things that were going on in life. And to be able to be there for what I would say is not like close relationships where we haven't spent a lot of time together, but to give that safe space, that ability for somebody to trust you and share with you the real things that are going on in life, and then to encourage them and to be able to share your wisdom of how you overcome some of those things. There's no greater moment that it feels like, hey, you made a difference. It wasn't a sell. It was nothing to do with business. It just has to do with life. And because you were there, you were able to make a little tiny difference that maybe created a ripple that could change the direction of somebody's life forever. So that's the magic of a network and being around community. Inger, you and me, we wouldn't be together if it wasn't for the network. It wouldn't be that if we didn't step out of our comfort zone and reach out and say, hey, let's connect. I want to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you wouldn't have this. And this is turning into the conversation that others are now listening to. That's the magic. That's the blessing. And it's hard to explain that, but that's what I share daily with the team. It's the relationships that you make that will make your quality of life and make you who you are. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's critical. The network, and just like your quote said, you are because we are. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
are the sum of all these conversations that go
Oh,
into
yeah,
the morning that allow you to make decisions as you move forward.
absolutely. Um, you spoke about how some people are intimidated by walking into a room full of people that they don't know. Let me tell you, I'll share a story with you. It's not a secret, but not a story that I've really shared. Um, through Katie, I learned and I came to understand that um, manufacturing is all around me, and there is space for me in that arena as well. And so I started to uh, become curious about, you know, one thing that is always spoken about in manufacturing rooms are the trade shows that people go to within that space, within that industry, right? So I became curious, and I said to a friend of mine, I said, "Oh, I think it's time for me to go to a trade show." Well, she said, "Oh, really? Here you go. Here's a list of trade shows that are happening in and around Toronto in the next month." And I was like, "Oh crap." And
Yeah.
there was one that was the following week, and I decided, okay, fine. I'll see if I want to go to it. And I invited a friend to I said, "Oh, would you be interested in one of these?" And he said, "Yes." And this is a friend that I hadn't met in person yet. So it would be a great opportunity for him and I to meet in person, but also for him to kind of hold my hand through this experience.
Sure.
so so he said yes, he'll meet me, no problem. Well, I got there and he wasn't there yet. He was at a doctor's appointment. I messaged him and I said, "Okay, I'm here. Where are you?" And he says, "Well, I'm at a doctor's appointment and I'll be there as soon as I can." Do you know? I didn't go inside. I didn't even register. I walked past the registration table and there was common area and I went to sit there. And then I decided to charge my phone. And then I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna call a friend. And I was on the phone with my friend for about an hour.
Of course, you made yourself busy.
Yes, waiting for this friend to arrive. During my conversation on the phone with my friend, my other friend messages me and says, I'm sorry to do this, but I won't be able to meet you. I was like, really? I said, okay, well, I guess I'm going home. That's what I thought to myself, right? And then I felt conviction because um, that day, my youngest daughter didn't have school, and my husband was home taking care of her so that I could go to this event. So I felt like, okay, I guess I have to go now. So I kind of like I was very tentatively, but I went and I registered and I went inside. And there were people just like me.
Yeah, on their phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, on their phones. Or I approached them and asked them about what they do, what their business is about, and then also what the experience is with LinkedIn. That's how I made conversation with them, and I was able to gather some make contacts, gather some information about different companies, and connect with people on LinkedIn. Well, guess what happened from there?
What happened?
One of the gentlemen that I met, he sent me a message about a month later and invited me to come and speak um, for a group of people that he belonged to about LinkedIn. So you never know what you never know, right?
Yeah, no, that nudge, right? That's nudge. And isn't it funny? I mean, we do what I mean, what where that fear comes from
Uh,
stepping into that uncomfortable spot. It's
mm,
difficult, right? And when you walk in faith, you're put in that spot a lot, right? There may be that something that's laid on your heart that you need
mm,
to do, and you just don't want to do it. But once you do, it's one of the greatest. It's just such a great feeling
experience.
when you face
Mhm.
that fear. And now look at you.
Yes.
You are out making the magic happen, and again, that's that growth. So
Yeah.
congratulations, you did it. Thank goodness you went in and got over that fear and did it.
Yes. Thank goodness. And you know how I look at God and His hand in all of it, because the guy that I was supposed to meet, his name is Denrich. Denrich and I were supposed to meet at this event. He didn't show up. When the gent so when the gentleman reached out to me and said, "Oh, I'd like you to speak at this event." Well, I got a message from Denrich a day later saying, "Oh, hey Inga, I heard that you met my friend at this event that you and I are supposed to meet, and him and I are serve on the same board, and I'm looking forward to hearing you speak." I was like, "Really?"
That's so awesome. That's just the way it works. It's so good. It's so good.
Yes,
I love it.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
let's see. I see.
I have I have a similar story that I think is awesome, but it's when
Yes.
you get out of your own way. And one day I was driving home from work and I stopped by a Walgreens that's in our area, and I was at the stoplight, and in front of a bush was a sleeping bag, and in that sleeping bag you could see there
Mm,
was a human in that sleeping bag, and God laid on my heart to go out and gather some food and something water, right, as it's going, as I'm at the stop sign, I'm saying, really, God, I'm in a suit and tie, and I'm heading to an event, and he just laid on my heart. He said, Michael, just go and offer up some food and some water and say a prayer. And so I walked into Walgreens and I bought one of those large 2 liters of water, and I bought there was a bag of nuts and a bag of that popcorn, air popcorn that you get, smart popcorn.
mhm,
So I bought it, and I'm starting to walk out to the bag, and I reached down and I shook the bag, and all of a sudden this female's head popped up with a little dog. Um, and she was startled, and she goes, I'm sorry, I'll be leaving. I said, no, 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 you don't need to leave. And I think because of the way I was dressed, she probably thought I was like the manager of the store, possibly. I said, no, no, I just was bringing you over some food, and I just wanted to know, is there anything I can pray for you about? And a long story short, she was grateful. I gave her the
Mhm.
food and said the prayer. But here's the magic. This was the magic. The
Mhm.
magic was she said, well, thank you so much for the prayer. Can I pray for you? And
Wow.
either I want to tell you, I get emotional as I listen because she flipped it and said the most magical, impactful prayer that somebody has ever said for me. And she
Wow.
spoke over me and she thanked me. She ended up giving me a hug. And as I started to walk out to my car, the gentleman said, there was a guy that was watching kind of our interaction. And he said, sir, that was so kind of you to go do it. And I said, no, no, no. The blessing, sir, was what she did for me.
For me. Mhm.
Yeah. And so, again, it's getting out of that comfort zone and getting that nudge that you
Mhm.
easily, and we get it all the time, but we will walk by it thinking that, oh, that's silly. I'm not going to do that. Or that's scary. It's
Mhm.
scary. I'm not going to do that. But when you get it and get out of your own way and let Jesus take the wheel, that's where the
Mhm.
magic happens. And again, I'm
Yes.
not a religious guy, I'm a Jesus guy. And I'm just telling you, the more you just listen and do and trust,
Mm.
it's magical. So great,
Beautiful.
great. Thank you for that, reminding me of that story because it was a really, really great reminder of the power of getting out of your comfort
Mm. Yes.
zone.
You're welcome. Thank you for that story. That's beautiful. I want to go to the comments quickly because I see some.
Good.
We see Dr. Zanzi McLaurin is joining us from Jackson. Thank
Hi,
you,
doctor.
Zanzi. Nice to see you.
Doctors, you got doctors watching your show. Holy moly.
Catherine says, when you take it deeper, I am because we are is even stronger because I am is the only name God gave himself. Wow. Thank you. She says, so not only I am because we are, but we are because I am. Wow.
That's good.
Thank you, Catherine.
Mhm.
We have Jonathan. Jonathan Kimbrough. He says, hello. Nice to see you, Jonathan. Thank you
Jonathan
for
in the
being here. Yes. Dr. Z says, networking is the opportunity to exchange information and ideas to expand upon yourself, your life, your business, and or your career. It can be so rewarding again amongst the right people.
Yeah, amen.
So right. Yes. And Hank says, personal touch is life changing. I agree. Um, Catherine says networking isn't about selling, but about spreading seeds for growing relationships. Because everything worth doing and worth being is rooted in relationships. Wow. Excuse
Yeah,
me. She also says, and remember, networking isn't about a crowd, but about one heart touching another.
yeah,
One,
so good. Yeah.
one. That just it reminds me of something. I remember, when I was led to do a show, and I started my show in August of 2021, and I never forget, the fear going into it because this was completely out of my comfort zone. And something that kept coming up for me was, what if nobody comes? What if nobody wants to hear what I have to say? And I remember thinking to myself, I'm sure that at least one person will come, and I'll make it my mission for every show to be able to just touch one person with that show, with what I have to say. That's all. And
Yeah,
when I do that, that's enough.
that is enough. Yeah, one heart at a time. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's
Yes.
so good.
Catherine says she's answering Hank and she says, personal touch is the only way to be personally invested. Beautiful. We also have my amazing friend Damon from Seattle joining us. He says, "Good
Seattle.
morning." Yes, good morning,
Same
everyone.
state as
Good
me.
morning.
There you go.
Yes,
Damon, we're down here in Vancouver, Washington, right down at the bottom of the state.
nice. Yeah, not far at all. We see some networking happening in the comments. My favorite. And then Catherine says, "Oh my goodness." Catherine says, she's talking to Dr. Zanzi and she says, I follow these three principles when attending networking events. Number one is have fun. Number two, make friends. And three, be relentlessly helpful. It takes the pressure off and creates space for true connections.
So good.
And we have our friend tuning in from
What?
YouTube.
What? Russ Edge is in the house? Come on.
Hey,
Come on.
hey. And he says, good morning. Two of my favorite people.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go. You know
you're
you're
one
a
of
big deal
us.
when Mr. Russ Hedge is in the house.
Yes, you are. You are. Katie says networking is where I get to play with my friends. Oh my goodness.
I
So
love it.
awesome to see you on YouTube and also here on LinkedIn. Thank you, Russ, for being here. He says, Inga and Michael, you are both such a blessing to me.
Yeah,
Thank
what
you.
a
So
gift.
are you.
Yeah.
So are you. Catherine is speaking to Katie and she says the new ones and the old ones, and especially the ones hiding in the corner. She's talking about her friends. Yeah, that
You might
would be
find an
me.
eager in that corner. You
Yeah.
gotta go get that diamond in the rough right there. Go get it.
But you know the funny thing is the thing that I love the most when I'm out in a space where there's lots of people is I love to observe others. I just love to people watch. And I don't know really what the fascination is, but that's what I do.
Yeah. Well,
I
each
love
one has
people.
a story, right? Each person
Mhm.
has a story, has a journey. And if you just take the time to watch and observe and then reach out and engage, it's amazing. And
Mm,
every walk of life, like I said, being in the casino industry, or if you've ever been to Las Vegas and sat on the strip, and just people watch, there is every walk of life. Everyone from
yes,
the most influential people to the people that are dealing with the toughest things that life can throw at you. And again, we're all in this thing together. We're all children of God that have a purpose. So when you get that opportunity to reach out to that person and let them talk, no matter where they're at in that circle of life and that spectrum of doing really, really well or really, really struggling, they all have a purpose. And if you look in their eyes and speak to their heart, it's amazing what will be revealed.
beautiful. I want to say hello to Laura Morlando. I am not sure why, but I'm not seeing any of your comments populate here. So just saying hello. Thank you for being here and joining us. Um, you know, Catherine is speaking to us, but she says, may today be overflowing with possibilities.
Yeah, you put those two together in a room, and you are going to be shining bright. It's kind of like it is in the Northwest today. It's going to be a sunny day, but if you ever need any encouragement, just reach out to those
Mm,
two. They will lift you up and remind you that life is good no matter what you're going through.
amen. Dr. Z says, when you invest in others, you can acquire such richness in yourself and others. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, Michael, um, what do you do to leverage a platform such as LinkedIn? Do you have a strategy that you use? And also, like when you go to net, since you on this stage, you are the networking expert, not me, when it comes to events. So share with us, like, do you have a strategy? Do you have something um that you follow so that you can get the most and maximize your time?
Yeah, to answer that question, no. There, I mean, we can do a much better. I grew up in the era that I wasn't very good with technology. The social media platforms, as you go into each one of them, is a little bit different. And
Mm-hmm.
with us being a startup company, we just got started. We, opened up our business about 4 years ago. And back when I was running the casino with 435 employees, I had department heads that took care of all of that for me. So as the general manager of the casino, and then I became the chief brand officer, I had a team around me that when I spoke an idea into existence or had a plan, that strategy was kind of built in. So when I stepped over to start my own business, I found myself knowing what needs to be done, but to actually get those tools and those things into place, it's been a learning curve. And trying to understand the processes and setting up and getting everything to work together, it seems like as soon as you get there, things are changing. You're hearing more and more about AI and how that can help you, and it can help you with a lot of creation and content and different things. But to be honest with you, Inga, we're in this very growth state, and we're building a good foundation, and we're working on our 4 M's, which in marketing, one of the biggest ahas that I got being in the casino industry and starting from the ground up. Like I said, I didn't have a formal education. What I had was passion and desire to help lead and serve people. And I kept getting more and more responsibility. And pretty soon I found myself in charge of 425 teammates and a multi-million dollar business. And but the 4 M's of marketing always came coming back to this. And if there's one thing that your viewers can take from this message, I would take out a pin, because it was life changing to me when I really simplified the 4 M's. The 4 M's talked about who's your target market and what is your message to them, because those two things were very, very important. So who's your target and what's your message or your unique selling proposition? And then the media vehicle, which is all of the things that you're talking about, Inger, from social media to the billboards that we put up across the communities, is the way that you get that message to your target market. And then the ability, the 4th M, is to measure to see if you're getting any success. So those 4 M's, when we started, we didn't have a lot of information about our target market. Yes, every small business owner we can help reach and engage in their community by putting our digital screens up in popular locations. But now that we've got 4 years of data, we're collecting that data and we're asking ourselves, what is our unique selling proposition? What sets us apart? And we're now just building out our message center. So yes, I have a LinkedIn page and a Facebook page and a YouTube page and all pages to death. But we're really in need of creating a overall message that will help reach and engage that target market. So that's a long answer to your question, but I don't have a great strategy other than showing up. And Russ Hedge has helped get us going. And he started to say, hey, Michael, go take some action. And we're in the process of taking some action, but also reviewing the information and building out a strategy as we speak.
Awesome. Thank you for your answer. I want to say you're right. Just when you think you figured it out, they change things, whoever they are, right?
Yeah,
And so my strategy would be that I help and I help clients figure this out, and I help friends, and so for me, I believe that, you know, we should do it the way that the Ubuntu way, which is this, right? Like you look at your circle, your community, you see what they're doing and how they are, um what their strategy is, what they're doing, and you, of course, like, and it's just like, when you look at friends, right? Like you admire certain characteristics of a person and you feel that you want to emulate that. But the thing is, taking it and doing it exactly like somebody does it would be so fake, right? Because it's
exactly.
not who you are. So, the way, what I say and what I encourage people to do is really figure out what is best for you. Look at your community, see that they're doing things a certain way, and yes, you can take this from Michael, take this from Russ, take this from Damon, take this from Katie, and implement that into your strategy. But don't just take everything from Katie and say, I'm gonna be Katie 2.0, right? Like it
Yeah,
doesn't work that way. Like, and the thing is, what works for some may not work for others. So you need to try and test and try and test and try and test. And when you figure out that something doesn't work, throw that part away and then continue with what does work. That's the only way that you're going to figure it out for you and for your
yeah.
companies.
Yeah, great. That's such great insight, Inger, of sharing that. It reminded me. I've shared with you. I lost 80 pounds in 7 months, and what we would do is each week, you would work a plan, and if you got success, you just repeated it, right? So when you got on that scale and you lost a pound or two, it was great. So you asked yourself, what did you do, and you repeated it. But if you got to the end of that week and you didn't have success, then you asked yourself, what did you need to tweak? What did you need to do a little bit different? And what
Mm,
was amazing is at the end of that 90-day challenge, you lost at the end of average a couple pounds a week, which ended up being 40 pounds in that 90 days. And you just continue to work that plan. And I think it works in life, right? You go out, you look at your goals, you take some action. If you get good results, repeat. And
mm,
if you don't, tweak it and make some adjustments and keep doing it. And just life gets so busy. We're a startup company, and you've got the hat as the owner becomes everything. And I'm working with some amazing people and lots of ideas and thoughts about how to get your message to the marketplace. And I'm so excited with that. And like Russ says, just do something. Just do something. Don't
yes,
just talk about it. Don't freeze. Do something, and then just keep moving forward and do something
mm,
else. And then pretty soon you'll look back and say, wow, we did a lot with
yes,
those baby steps. Those baby steps took you to a place that got you from A to B. And now look at you. And when you look back,
right,
it works like that. And
yes,
we beat up on ourselves all the time that we should be doing more, we can be doing faster, that's wrong. But you know what? Just get out of your own way and do
mm,
something. Do something. And
yes.
it's fun.
I love it. Let's go to the comments quickly.
Yeah.
Katie says she thinks that she lost us on LinkedIn, but she's on YouTube. So, anyone, if there is an issue with watching on LinkedIn, you can always pop over to my channel on YouTube, which is Inspiration from Inga,
Yeah.
and check out the conversation from
And
that
Katie,
side.
thank you. See, Katie could have gave up, right? She lost the signal. She could have got busy in her
Right?
day, and she made a jump over. So Inga, that's a compliment to you that
Thank
what
you.
you bring and the value makes them want to come over here. So Katie, nice job, Katie. We're proud of you. Keep it up.
Yes, and but I think that she's really interested to learn more about you and what you're saying, Michael.
Well, yeah,
Catherine
I
says,
love it.
yes, Inga, learn from others, but take that learning and make it your own because you are unique in all the world.
Oh, yeah, Catherine, she's on fire. Catherine, I love you. I just want to say that. I love Catherine. She is such a blessing to so many.
She is. She is. She also says, have the courage to say no to what doesn't work for you. Thanks for the reminder, Inga. You're welcome. You're welcome, sis. Dr. Z says it's all about being your genuine, authentic self. Use others as research subjects and advisors, but be your original self and keep refining who you are.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
nice job.
Beautiful. Katie says, all love. Thank you.
Yeah.
So let me see. I want to see what I want to ask you further. Because we are now at about 10 minutes before the end of the show. Um, do you have any other networking stories that you'd like to share with us, Mike?
You know, uh, again, no, not so much of a specific story with networking. I just think what is important is that when you go to that networking event, if you make it a goal to just try to contact with one person in the arena that you didn't know
Mhm.
before, invite them and ask them if you can learn more about their goals and their dream and their vision. People really like that. That you're taking the time to take interest into them. You're not selling anything. In fact, just the opposite. You really are just trying to learn and understand from their successes and, more importantly, their failures. I mean, there's two people that you can take to lunch: the business person or the person in your eyes that have made it, and they can talk to you about that, the wisdom of how they've made it. But you can also take the guy to lunch that has had the failures. And I'm telling you, I can share with you so many amazing wins and so many amazing losses that I've had that will help you learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to go through those same mistakes. Or if you do, you can learn how I got through that. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody that has done what you're wanting to do so you can speed up that learning curve. It's just, you don't have enough time to F it all up. You don't have enough time to make those mistakes. So take those people that are in that room, and you know the ones, and probably the ones you're most uncomfortable with to invite to lunch are the first ones that you should go ask to go, because any person that gets it will love to share with you their story. They will be honored that you even thought enough of them to ask for that invite. And that 30-minute lunch can change your life forever. It's worth the time for coffee. It's worth the time of your energy. And I'm just telling you, some magical things can happen when you get out of your own box and really start taking interest in others.
I love that. Um, so how has networking or connecting with others impacted you? Can you share a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, well, our whole business model here at LinkIT Media is that we have what we call the LinkIT Local program. And the whole goal of what we do here at LinkIT Media is networking. It's actually networking at such a higher level. And what I mean by that, typically when people go and network at an event, they come in and they gather for that hour or two. And usually there's multiple people in the room, and there's business cards and relationships being exchanged. And you either show up once a week or once a month to that group. If you can make it, great. If you can't, sometimes you miss out. But what we did is that when COVID hit, we knew there was a need that needed to be solved because business owners and networkers wanted to support one another. They wanted the ability to help each other locally and grow that community during a difficult time. So that's how LinkIt Media was formed. My daughter came to me and said, "Hey, Dad, there's this opportunity. I've got some wisdom. You've got your experience in the casinos. Now that the owners have sold, you've got some time on your hand. What do you think about forming LinkIt Media?" And what we do is we go into popular locations around your community, and we give the business owners where people naturally gather free digital marketing menu screens, and we give them a digital marketing team that creates pictures to help them sell more of the products and services that they're offering to the community at no cost. We do that for free for that business owner. So we're in breweries, nail salons, restaurants, coffee shops. Any place that people naturally gather is a place where our screens can go. And that venue now becomes the hub for community. And the way that we do that for free is we find local businesses that want to network with him, and they're able to put an advertisement up on those boards to help promote each other. And then we just encourage them to go meet the business owner and interact and shake hands and help each other drive business to one another. So when you go home at the end of the day of your networking event, typically our screens are there and your message is still up on that board. So you're constantly branding and that awareness, market awareness with your team. You're constantly there. And then when you show up, you're in person, but when you go home, you're still branding and messaging. It's really
Mm,
been magical to watch how God has taken a simple concept called the LinkIt Local program and really helped business owners and people do just what we're saying. It gives them a vehicle to network at a very inexpensive way and reach and engage with their target market that they normally wouldn't get a chance to reach and engage with. So it's been fun.
wow,
So networking to me is a big lifeblood of what we do, and we're just having a lot of fun and success.
that's awesome. Let's just go to the comments quickly and I want to. So, Catherine says she's speaking to Dr. Z and she says, yes, you can only live your design if you walk out your originality, and your design is needed in this world. Beautiful. Damon says most people want to share their experiences, so don't be afraid to ask. Great advice, Michael.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then Hank is sharing us with us an anecdote. He says once heard of a manager that would randomly choose people off the floor once a week to get to know them. Wow. One of the conditions was to only talk shop for 5 minutes, then all work talk was off the table. Wow.
yeah. Hank gets
That's
it.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's so
That's
good.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. So Michael, we have 5 minutes left. What are your final thoughts that you'd like to share with us, please?
You bet. Well, I think the team just talked about that. Catherine and Hank and David, all of them out there are sharing. You're here for a purpose. I mean, period. And there's only one you. So I would
Mm,
encourage you to shine bright no matter what you have going on. And again, your creator created you here at this time, at this moment to make a difference and be
yes,
you, and just know he is waiting to just use your mess and have it become your message. So my final word to everybody that's watching today, if you watched this long, we just want to say thank you. It's been great
mm,
to be able to share some of the thoughts and ideas and things that have inspired me to be the best. And Ingrid, I just want to say thank you for being such a great host and allowing me an opportunity to speak from the heart. I mean, again, it's such a blessing. But my pearl of wisdom to you, no matter where you're at in business or in life, if things are really good, give praise. And if things are really bad, give
give
praise because
praise.
you're going to get through the bad stuff. Nothing is going to last forever, although at times when you're in it, it feels like it's going to last longer than you want. But just know there's a lesson being learned, and that mess is going to become a message where you can reach back and help somebody else get through what you're going through. So just lean into it and go be the best version of you, and let the man above shine his light and take you through it. So
I love
that's
it.
the wisdom there, Inger. And thanks again for letting me be here today.
Thank you for being here and availing yourself to come and share a bit of you with us, Michael. It's been an honor and a privilege to be able to shine this light on you, and to learn from you. You have a lot of wisdom to share, and I can't wait for the 5F book to come out.
Well,
If you know, you know, and if you don't know, I want to share with you. Michael speaks about going out there and effing it up, but
in
he's
a good
speaking
way.
about his 5Fs. So
Yeah.
remind us, what are the 5Fs, Michael?
Yeah, the five F's, God laid in my heart that I got to write the book. The five F words that every parent should teach their kids, which is faith, finance, fitness, family, and friends are the same F, because if you're my friend, I'm going to love you like my family. And the last F is having some fun. And again, I'm going to write it for my version of all the lessons I have learned around those card tables, and where God took an ordinary guy like me that took pottery and PE in college and put me in charge of a lot of people. And I've been truly blessed, and I've had my successes and I've had my failures, but I definitely want to get something in place for the kids to have. So when dad gets called home, they'll have a reference, something to look back to say, hey, if he can do it, you can do it too. So there we
Beautiful.
go. The five efforts. And the go up it up is on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to ask you, how is your faith today? And if it's not a 10, then there's probably a couple things you can do. So go move that F up and go make your mistakes. Go F it up. So we're going to have some fun with
Mm,
that, Ingrid, and I'm sure you're probably going to be a part of it. So there you
beautiful.
go.
I'm excited. I can't wait. So thank you, Michael. I'll send you to the green room as I wrap up.
All right. Hey, everybody, have a blessed Friday. And thanks again, Ingrid. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. And if you're still watching, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here and spending this time with us. Dr. Z, Catherine, Whitney, Hank, Damon, Katie, who else? I don't want to miss anybody, but I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, and to my amazing guest, Michael. It was awesome, awesome, awesome to have you here, Jonathan, Russ, and who else? Elizabeth Balvin. Thank you also for tuning in. It's Friday. Wishing you a wonderful weekend. Be blessed, and make sure you tune in next week. I have a wonderful guest lined up and it's going to be fun. Laura, as well, thank you for being here. Be blessed, everyone, and reach out if you need help building your community. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.